WLW podcast. This is Eddie and Tracy on demand on 700 WLW.
All right, back with Eddie and Tracy. Sorry, sometimes we're just talking off air and we get a little lost there. But Hunter apparently is doing well. My kids are doing well too. Yeah. Okay. So my kids are in school, obviously, and neither one of them are in the band.
Thank God.
But they are, they're into the sports thing.
Right.
We'll see how that goes for them.
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of cuts being made as far as school is concerned. I think one of those cuts in a lot of schools are the bands. It's kind of sad, but that's the...
Well, back in the day, I don't know about you, when I was in school, they encouraged you from the time, I'll say second, third grade. They were trying to, here's a violin, here's a trumpet, here's the drums. And I wanted to play the drums when I was a kid, but my mom and dad put the kibosh on that in a real big hurry when I got a drum and brought it home for about a week.
What's funny is growing up in Southern California, we did not have a band. Of course, we couldn't find enough dorks to join the band, so that was kind of a problem for us.
There was musicians at their school. I mean, come on now. The theater, the movie people out there.
The theater's all right. The band, Ed, I'm not a big believer.
This guy's going to argue with. Hey, John, it's John Seda, correct?
That's correct. How you doing?
Doing great.
How's it going, Eddie and Tracy?
We're doing, John. The website is BornAMusiciancom, and John, you're saying, hey, we need music in the schools.
Well, of course we do. It actually makes kids smarter. It's been proven with studies. It actually, they did a study about 20 years ago, and they did one just recently, probably about 5 years ago. They redid it again. And they proved that the music does make kids smarter, and it helps them with their work ethic, with perseverance and discipline. It's been noted by teachers and parents themselves that kids that study music are have better work ethics. So, and not to mention, it's not that I would say that they could make a career out of it, but a lot of kids have had opportunities to travel to different places of the world because they weren't part of programs, and if it wasn't for music, they wouldn't be able to, get exposed to go to Europe and, travel, Japan, like a lot of kids that I've known that done these type of things, and music brought that to the table.
Yeah, as far as playing an instrument, did you probably played an instrument, trombone, skin flute, snare drum? What'd you play?
I play guitar, man. I'm a guitar player. I still am. I own a recording studio. That's why we put together Born a Musician. We saw the need for it, and part of our mission statement, which is kind of like what this conversation is all about, is helping musicians to make money in music. I think music can be an important source of income for our economy if we looked at it from a different perspective.
I'm sorry to interrupt, John, but listen, I was in rock and roll radio for a better part of 30 years.
What station?
And many. But the fact of the matter is, I see old friends of mine pop up on Facebook and whatnot. Those guys aren't making any money. Mm-hmm. They're out there. It's a hard scrabble existence, man. They're not, gone are the days, I suppose, where you can make a living going and playing a coffee shop or, some restaurant for happy hour. Mm-hmm. And survive on that. These guys are struggling.
Well, there was a point that you could. I mean, now it is very difficult, but it's because of the trend of promoting free music. I mean, that started back when the internet came into play, and basically what I've known from it is that as of 15 years or maybe a little bit more, the copyright laws for the internet have never been passed. So the idea of promoting free music was a good way for a lot of companies to get free music and attach commercials to it. But, as of a couple of years, the Senate passed the Stop Online Piracy Act, and it was stopped by Congress because Google didn't want that to happen. And then a lot of positive things came from that. So now things are changing. YouTube is a big venue right now to help artists make money. It has been true that the last 15 years has been really tough for musicians, but it's turning around right now, and it was because of the change of platform.
All right, John, let me ask you to hang on for a second. We're going to take a 30-second break for traffic and weather together. We're talking to John Seda about music in schools. Bruce, what do you got?
Accident north 75 on the shoulder north of Town Street, and traffic slow back through Hopple. Got a broken down block in the right lane south 75 south of Mitchell. That's on the brakes from the Lockland split. Accident Kingman west of Pippin, Madison, Dana, and Reading at Summit in the cleanup. So is Vine at Maple Street. I'm Bruce Davis with traffic, sponsored by Watson's for all the fun. 700 WLW.
Fox 19 Storm Tracker weather for tonight, partly cloudy, 65. Again, a chance of scattered showers and storms for tomorrow. Again, a chance of scattered showers and storms, and the high of 83. It's 78 now, 700 WLW. We're talking to John Seda, our guest. He is a founder of Born a Musician. It's BornAMusician.com, talking about music in schools. Now, John, are you talking about kids being in the marching band or whatnot? What are we talking about here?
Well, you're talking music in general. Anything that has to do with music. If they're studying music, if they're learning how to read music, remember, music is math, so it makes them better at it. They have to, figure out the equations of time within music, and that just makes them more intelligent. You have to practice that music, which is the great thing about it. There is no instant download that's going to make you do this quickly. You have to spend time in it, and I think that's, as you know, with kind of today's society, everything is instant gratification. Nobody works at anything. Take a picture, post it. But music is not like that. You have to practice. You have to work at it. Yeah. And I think that's something that's definitely needed for kids today.
Yeah, but I just see people in the marching band, and just from experience at this radio station, we've got 3 people who are in the marching band: Daryl Parks, Paul Mason, and someone else I forget, and really pretty much dorks. And the thing is about the marching band kids, a lot of them not very well rounded. I don't know if you saw this study, that many of these kids, when they're in the marching band, when they grow up, they remain a virgin until their early 30s. What are your thoughts on that?
I've never heard anything like that before. I've never heard of a musician being past 20 as of it being a virgin.
Yeah, but in the marching, I'm talking about marching band. It's a different.
There was that one time in band camp. If you've never seen that movie.
I don't know.
But where's you know what? Hey, John, here, where's the music, the money going to come to keep the music programs going?
Well, that's funny you say that, because I've known a lot. I'm in Florida, and there's actually a lot of schools here, and I have to give credit to a lot of the people that support it. But a lot of the great schools here that are involved with music are actually privately, they're done by private donations. They're privately supported. Some schools are going to be shut down because of this type, because they don't have the type of funds to come in. So if you're looking at it as far as the government goes, the government hasn't been doing anything about that, and they're actually cutting more and more out. A lot of the schools that a lot of people think that are publicly funded, they're not. They're actually privately funded. So I think that if people that have money and donate money towards it, they must see that there's an importance for it, because they have their kids going to these schools also. It's definitely something we shouldn't get away from. I mean, I think we should support it more. If it does help kids become smarter, then why not? And actually, not changing the subject, but in my past, I've worked with a lot of people in the studios, and I've worked with people that had autism, ADD, like people that stuttered, and when they got on their instrument, it went away miraculously. So there's a lot of benefits to music that we don't take into consideration. Some people, it actually does something for them in a positive way.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. I think that's a real positive. Let's say you have a kid, he's not going to be an athlete, he's kind of a misfit. What would you say is the best instrument to get started on?
I think the piano. Piano is the best. I mean, it's been known that a lot of top surgeons in the world are piano players and study piano, classical music. Yeah. So I would say that would be the way to go. And there's something to be said about that, too. Why is it that most top surgeons know how to play piano?
Yeah, the dexterity in their fingers, I would think, right?
Yeah, and actually dexterity in their mind, because you're reading 2 different music staffs, and you're reading them at the same time, which is your left hand and your right hand. So by doing that, you're splitting your head in 2, really, because you're reading 2 different, clefs and 2 different lines of music written at the same time. So it does something for you.
I mean, that's pretty tough to use your left hand and your right hand, right? I mean, I'm just more of a right-handed guy. How about you?
Mm-hmm. I do use both. Obviously, I'm a guitar player. I'm a right-handed player, so I use my left to the fingering. But
you know what? I'm going to take that back. With the tripod, can you go at the same time?
Yeah, of course you can.
Okay.
You can actually do it in different times, signatures. So that's it depends on how how deep that musician is.
I can't even brush my teeth with my left hand, let alone
I'm so right-handed.
Absolutely.
I don't want to think what you could do with your left hand. How about?
I've tried and I hurt myself. John Seda.
Did you see that? Did you see B.B. King was on TV the other night? They had a little special.
I don't want to see what he was doing, if that's what you're talking about.
What did the BBC do?
Hey, 90 years old and still doing it, man.
And stroking Lucille, I'm guessing.
That's right.
All right, John Seda, we appreciate you talking to us. People can check out BornAMusician.com. All right, buddy.
Thanks, John.
Take care of yourself.
Good
There's
sport,
John Seda. You know, the fact of the matter is, that guy, I recognize that name. That guy's kind of been around
Is that
a little bit.
a big shot? If you had to make one cut in the high schools, what would you make? As much as a lot of people I'd cut band. If you had to make one cut.
Band. Would you say, you said band?
I say band.
See, that's tough.
You had to make one cut, Ed.
How much?
And don't say baseball.
I was going to say baseball.
And how dare you?
Girls field hockey, baseball. Same difference. It's Eddie, Tracy, and you. Your thoughts. 700 WLW. Back with Eddie and Tracy. Just talked to